Hey folks, today we are taking a look at the second in the Uranos set is the F-15 Eagle from TFC Toys. Now I picked this figure up at tfsource.com. So I'll take the figure and we'll take a look at the box really quick. Standard Uranos packaging with nice white and red. I really like the color scheme. I love the symbol and I love the look of the figure. Though the art here looks more like G1 Silverbolt than, I think this guy's supposed to be air raid. Oh well. Turning it around, just standard packaging for the Uranos. Here's the plain figure and leg mode. So let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. F-15 Eagle is a very nice looking figure. I really do like the black, white, red, and gold aesthetic of this guy. It just looks really nice. His missiles are a little bit more interesting or a little bit more unique than Phantom's missiles in the fact that even though they look like JDAMs, I think that's what these are supposed to be, even though the missiles are more futuristic, they have these little pegs that fold in and out. So you can have him wield these somewhere else with the peg folded up. I like that. The other thing I like is that you can put them on his arms or on his forearms as opposed to him holding them. The one thing I have noticed is they're a little tight. So I like this look a little bit better than him holding it, but he can hold it just fine. Now, something that's kind of been bugging me is his nose cone. As you can see, the nose cone is sticking up back there. And there are actually a couple of different ways that you could pose this guy in robot mode. His wings, like the wings of Phantom, are completely detachable from the rest of the body. They're just on pegs. But something that I've been wondering is, what is the right way to have him displayed? On the box, he's displayed this way, where you have the nose cone pointed up, but the wings folded up like that. Or the nose cone kind of pointed like that. Unfortunately, the nose cone does not fold flush against the figure. That's just something it does not do. So then you turn it around some more, and then it's completely different. In this way, you've got the wings folded back, and then the nose cone opened up, which you can do. So you can open up the nose cone. It's part of the transformation into leg mode. So he looks like that. Well, okay, that's not much different. And then in the directions, they have him with the nose cone closed, like this, and then the wings unfolded, pointing straight back. So I don't know what the proper way to pose it is. Okay, that's silly to me. Silly for me to complain about. I realize that, but it would be nice if there was an official way to pose this guy. Just a personal preference of mine. So posability is the same as Phantom's. Eagle, his head is on a ball joint. You once again have amber light piping, and the light piping goes to not only his visor, but these areas right above his eyes as well, these little like horns. Then he's got movement, swivels in the shoulders, in and out, and forward and back, a swivel just above the elbow for forward and back movement, 90-degree bend at the elbow, fists don't move at all. Ratchet in the hips, swivel underneath that, and the knee bends, I'd say maybe about 80 degrees. And then there is some play in the feet because of a ball joint, but really the way the feet are, you really have to kind of push them up and forego any true posability. You can get some side to side and forward and back, but because of the width of the foot, you just kind of have to leave it as is. Not a huge issue at all. Another nice thing is he's got missiles in his chest, which I really like. So you fold his chest open, and he'll just missile you a la Macross. A very, very nice addition. Eagle comes with an extra component, and that is the foot. It also comes with this little yellow piece, which can be used in vehicle mode, and then he can have it as a stand. I really appreciate that. I think that's very nice. Having a stand is really, really cool, actually, for having him in vehicle mode. So the foot is going to have some articulation in it, side to side, and then it's got up and down and forward and back ow, mother. Ow. So, yeah, if you get this thing, be careful. Ow. Jeez, that hurt. So, yeah. So Eagle's transformation is a little bit more complex than Phantom's, but it's oddly similar. The first thing we're going to do is take the feet and fold the feet down, then twist them and turn them around, and then fold them back up into the shin. Like that. Next, we are going to just put the legs together. And oddly enough, when he's in robot mode, his legs don't necessarily want to go together. It's very, very strange. So on the back of the feet, fold down the thruster, or fold down the engines, and then fold down the engine flap covers. And you can, if you want, fold the rear tail wings up. Then push the legs up into the figure and watch your fingers. Now, according to the directions, you're not supposed to move these pieces on the knees around. They can swivel completely around. You're not supposed to move them in vehicle mode, but in combined mode, you're supposed to move them, even though the directions don't show. It's very, very strange. Some of the directions are weird. So take the chest open and open it all the way up and fold the head in. And then collapse the chest and fold it along this hinge, and that will allow you to peg it into place like that. Then for the arms, we're going to just take the arms and put them straight out like that, and then open them up on the inner forearm. Then when you do that, you can fold the shoulders into the body and fold the arms down along the fuselage of the plane. And yes, you're going to have robot arms sticking off the fuselage of an F-15. It's dumb. I don't like that design idea, but I kind of get why they had to do that. There's really no room for arms. Now, I will say about Eagle is he's got a lot of pointy bits, especially along the wings. You can poke yourself very, very badly with this figure, and I have done a couple of times. The wings on both the main wings and the tail wings are just on pegs that come off pretty easily. So now we can fold the wings out and flip them around, or just pull them off and turn them around manually. Like that. For the nose cone, take the nose cone and fold it forward and put it flush with the body. Then take the air intakes and fold them forward. Now be wary, if things aren't lined up, the air intakes will just pop off. They just will. It's really annoying that they do that. And then you can fold up the wings like that. And here we have F-15 Eagle. You can then attach the missiles underneath the wings in either location. And there we go. So I really like this alt mode. This is a very, very nice alt mode. And the F-15 is one of my all-time favorite jets or planes. You can deploy a landing gear here in the front, and then these bits right here underneath the fuselage fold out as landing gears that do roll. But I prefer using the aforementioned foot stand. And the way you get this to work is you take these bits that swivel, and you open them up. And then what you do is you work in this clear yellow bit with these pegs, and those pegs will peg into these holes right here on the side. And it's not perfect. You kind of have to force it, but it will line up. And turn the foot around, and here you have a jet, and a bunch of stuff just fell down in the kitchen. Sorry about that if you heard that. So here we have the jet mode on his little stand. It's perfect. I love it. I wish all of them had little stands like this. I really do. I love this. So the last thing to show you is the, foot mode. The way you form the foot mode is a little bit interesting, actually. To start off with, we're just going to take the air intakes and fold them back. Then come up to the nose cone and get your nail in here and open the nose cone like that, and then flip it back and up. And I wish there was a way that this sat better, but That's the way it's supposed to be in the directions and according to the everything else. But personally, I just like to fold it straight down. I would rather have it folded straight down because that just makes it so that nothing gets in the way. Then fold up the tail wings and kind of flip them around. And you're supposed to just flip them out of the way, but flip them up and out of the way. Sometimes, unfortunately, no matter what you do, they get in the way. So then with the wings themselves, you just fold them straight back. And you can fold them like this, or you could just have them folded straight back. Then we take our foot here and remove the little yellow piece. Come onto the bottom here and split the legs apart so that we can get the connector bit in. And sometimes that's easier said than done. Oh, and I completely forgot the engines. You're actually supposed to fold up the engines. Like so, fold. This is always a little bit difficult because this flap here doesn't always want to open. And sometimes, there we go. Okay, good. So, yep, I completely forgot about that. You've got to fold the engines up first. Then you can put the connector in. And close it up. So, you'll see on the back of the box, it's got the nose cone pointing up like that. I don't like to do that. I just like to put it straight back. I think it's better and just gets it out of the way. It doesn't look as nice, I'll admit, but it just gets it out of the way. And then because the hands are shown, you put the missiles in the handholds. And then according to the directions, you're supposed to flip these around. I guess that's just for aesthetic reasons, but here we go. Now you'll notice this never really goes flush, and that's just an issue with the tension on the plastic. So as you can see, here is the cement mixer from Hercules. As you can see, the feet on Uranus are going to be bigger. In fact, quite a bit bigger. I'd say about 1/4 of an inch bigger. And that's simply because, and this is my theory, is because the core robot, the one that makes up the torso, is actually going to be a little shorter than the Hercules torso, which is made up of Dr. Crank and heavy lifter? Whatever. Cement mixer. No, it's not cement mixer. Long haul. Not long haul. So, yes, it can connect just fine, as I will demonstrate. Now, I have not replaced the... So, as you can see, it works just fine. As you can see, Hercules with the new limbs works just fine. They connect with no problem, and they have just the same posability as before. So, guys, if you can get a hold of either Phantom or Eagle, I would strongly recommend it. Heck, you can even mix and match your limbs if you want. That's going to be fun. The new figures are going to be out in March, April time period. I'm sorry, the core robot is due in February, this month, February, that this is being recorded, and the other limbs are due in March and April, I believe. So we're going to have a new combiner here real quick. So guys, hope you enjoyed this. I'll catch you next time.